Subconscious mind. What is subconscious mind? Subconscious mind is part of our brain that we're not aware of, but controls our actions and feelings. It works night and day. We're not entirely in control of subconscious mind. It's kind of automatic. It's only of experiences and feelings and emotions we've had of the past, which is why it's very hard to actually break free from who we are from the past into somebody we want to be in the future. For me, what does it mean to be Dean? That's a challenge I had. I had a burning desire to overcome that and to figure out what it means to be me, but also what I want to become. A subconscious mind is in computer terms, is his big brain that holds 40,000 gigabytes of data compared to his conscious mind, which only holds 40 gigabit of data. The subconscious mind works 93% of as time, all the time. It's our learnt behaviour of the past. In order to be able to change who we are today, we have to re-experience, we have to visualise, we have to put into practice and through actions and create emotions to change our learnt behaviour of the past for our learnt behaviour we want for the future. So that's his big brain, it's subconsciousness. It's the thing what keeps us ticking over. For an example, getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, coming downstairs, getting dressed, getting washed, doing your hair. These are all automatic. Get in the car, start the engine. You're not thinking consciously about that. It's all subconsciously. But that goes with situations and confrontations, and how we do things is all automatic through his subconsciousness. And it is automatic. We're not really consciously aware. So in the subconsciousness, we've got to be aware in order for us to change and to control a little bit more of us. It's like auto-suggestion. It's just influencing through thoughts, visualization to change that subconsciousness to what we want to achieve, to what we want to be. So we live majority of the day in the things we want to achieve. This takes time, takes patience, takes learning and action. It's like exercising a muscle, your bicep. The more you do it, the more you exercise that muscle, the bigger and stronger it becomes. This is why when we see most people, they don't ever change, because they're constantly living in a subconsciousness, that automatic actions and emotions. So that's subconsciousness. Tomorrow we're talking about the brain. Until then, take care. The brain, we all have it. Sits on top of his shoulders. It is the most complex part of our body. It's where our intelligence, our memory, our imagination, our creative comes from. It interprets our senses: touch, hear, see, smell, and taste. It's where our body movements come from, our behaviour. There's 3 different parts to a brain. There's your frontal cortex, the middle is the limbic, and the last at the back, which is where subconsciousness sits, is his cerebellum. In his brain, we have 100 billion neurons. They're the cells what communicate to each other. That's how our thoughts are developed. In between those neurons, there's 100 trillion synapses, which help the neurons by sending the signals between the neurons so they communicate together. Then you have your pathways. There's a new thing called neuroplasticity, which means new pathways. So it doesn't matter how old the brain is, you can always create new pathways. Then there's neurogenesis, which helps in the creation of new cells. New cells equals new neurons. So it's when we learn, when we gain something new, create new cells, new pathways. Neurogenesis, neuroplasticity. The best way, or one of the best ways you can exercise the brain, is through reading. Is reading out books. It helps create imagination, helps to create creative thoughts. So exercise the brain. Read, learn something new. Don't forget to go out and action it. That way then it becomes a new way in which we think, we do, we act, we behave, and we grow from it. So that's the brain. I've covered it quite lightly. We all have them. But, you know, the brain through exercise is so important. So exercise your brain. Tomorrow we're covering the sixth sense, the last in this chapter of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Until then, take care. The sixth sense. Sixth sense is just that. We have 5 physical senses, which, as a reminder, is touch, hear, see, smell and taste. The sixth sense is that within us, that feeling. It reminds us of danger. We can get a sixth sense of danger, but also it can have a sixth sense of opportunity. We can't explain it, but here's some steps I've learned. We can enhance it. Let's pay attention. Pay attention to the small details we do in his daily lives. Experience every situation. Learn, experience, and gain some knowledge from that. Meditate. Become familiar with oneself is meditation. So meditate and be in touch with how we feel, how we think. Learn to watch and listen. Learn people's behaviours, people's traits. It's always a good way to enhance your sixth sense. Spend time in nature. Being around in the wilderness per se is a good way to get familiar with yourself again. Feel the vibes. Does that mean? Means that we've been in places where we've seen people who are watching us, you know, and we turn around and we see that they actually are. We have those vibes around us. Then, you know, listen to the vibes. You know, learn from them vibes. And write freely. Write your dreams. Write what you want to be, what you want to do. It's a good way to enhance your sixth sense. So that's your sixth sense. That's your last in the chapter of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The principles of how to grow, you know, mentally, emotionally, and by his behaviour. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about main point, which is desire, or more importantly, burning desire, which brings those principles together. So until then, take care. I'm going to talk briefly about desire versus burning desire. Throughout the book, it talks a lot about desire, and through desire, through having a burning desire, how that leads to action. So quickly, desire. Desire means it's a want or a hope or longing for a person or an object or an outcome. It doesn't lead to you actioning. It's just a wish, an aspiration that you hope that it comes to you. That's desire. A burning desire changes your mindset, changes your interaction. It makes you want to gain any knowledge you need if you haven't got it in the gaps, which is so important. But then it forces you into action to plan, make those little steps to reach that outcome, that person, that something you want. It's then puts you into action to action on that plan by making those little steps every day. And as we make those steps, that's how we become more closer, we gain more confidence, we grow as a person. And then we experience whether what we've put in this plan actually works, and then we'll be able to change it. It exercises that muscle of patience, of perseverance, of persistence. So the question I want to ask is, what you want, is it a desire or is it a burning desire? Because if it's a desire, you'll never take action. That mindset is just that you hope that it comes. It's a wish, it's an aspiration you won't do anything about. But a burning desire actually changes your mindset and actually then makes you take action. You know, and what I've just outlined in the steps you need to do is what you need to look at yourself in order to make that burning desire what you want. You know, learning and practicing and doing and learning again and putting into action and always doing, you know, always working the plan. So all the principles we've learned in these last 13 days all comes down to having that burning desire, which we can put all those principles into action in order for us to be able to be a different person, grow as a different person, understand what it means to be Dean. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I've explained a little bit more about desire and burning desire. Have that burning desire and go and do. Tomorrow, until then, take care.